Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about different type of caries. This is the part 5 of dental caries and I have already covered a lot of different types of caries. Now some of them are still left, so I am going to cover in this video. So let's start then. So first is acute dental caries. So what is acute dental caries? Rapid clinical course resulting in early involvement of pulp. So acute caries is whichever the caries which progress faster and involves the pulp very fast, and frequent in children and young adult. It is usually seen in children and young adult. Entry of the lesion remains small. So here the entry of the lesion is small, means whatever the lesion we are seeing into the oral cavity is very small. It's going to be very small, but the symptoms will be more. The pain involvement will be there, the pulp involvement will be there, and on the radiographic we will see that caries has progressed deep into the pulp as well. So that's why we are calling it as acute caries. They involve pulp very faster, they progress very faster, and usually seen in this children and young adult. Entry of the lesion is small and it spread along the DEJ. Clinically appears light yellow in color, so it will appear as light yellow in color. Pain is often present, so pain is often present. Next is chronic caries. So chronic caries is the caries where the progression will be very slow. So here the slowly progressive lesion that involves the much later. Involve the pulp very later, means it required a much amount of time to get involved the pulp. It is commonly seen in adult. Larger entrance of lesion. Here the large cavitated area will be seen, but the progression reaches till the dentine or the pulp will be very less. Dentine is stained deep brown. Moderate lateral spread of caries at the DJ. So here the moderate spread of caries into the DJ is seen. Pain is not common clinical finding, so pain will be not there in this case. Now let's see the rampant caries, very important topic. There will be sudden and rapid onset and almost uncontrollable destruction of teeth. So involves the teeth that are ordinarily caries free. So the caries free areas, that is mandibular incisors, are usually caries free. We are consider them as caries free. Why? Because there is a hindrance of tongue. So because of the tongue, the caries progression will very less over there, and there is also continuous secretion of saliva over that part. So that's why also the mandibular incisor are least affected by caries. But in rampant caries, as it is occurring very fast, very rapidly, so it will going to involve these teeth as well. This is the distinguished feature between the rampant caries and the nursing bottle caries. 10 or more new increment of the carious lesion in 1 year. So what will we see? 10 or more new increments of carious lesion will be seen within 1 year. Now you can see this is the rampant caries. All the maxillary teeth, not only maxillary, mandibular teeth are also involving. Means here the lesion are involving over the mandibular anterior incisor as well. So now let's see nursing bottle caries, also called as infancy smoother caries. So what happened? There is a rapid progression of the caries of the affected primary dentition, usually during the first 2 years of life. So what will happen? It is also a rapidly progressing disease of the teeth, and it is usually affect primary dentition only, and it will going to occur during the first 2 years of the life. 4 maxillary anterior teeth are mostly affected. So 4 anterior maxillary teeth are usually affected. If unchecked, maxillary and mandibular molars are also get involved in that lesion. Lower anterior teeth are spared, means lower anterior teeth will not going to be involved in carious lesion, and it is one of the most characteristic feature which differentiate nursing bottle caries from the rampant caries. So now you can see here, you can see these all are the carious lesion of maxillary teeth, but all these mandibular teeth are normal. All these mandibular teeth are normal. There is no carious involvement. Now let us see the difference between nursing caries and the rampant caries. So what happened? This nursing bottle caries is seen in infant and the toddlers, while the rampant caries seen in all ages. So this is the first difference. So these nursing bottle caries usually affect the primary dentition, while the rampant caries includes adolescence. After primary dentition, it will also going to affect permanent dentition as well. So here both the dentitions are involved. Now, so in nursing bottle caries, mandibular incisors are not usually involved. Very important point. And here the mandibular incisor are also affected in case of rampant caries. And when we talk about etiology, this nursing bottle caries is occur because of the improper bottle feeding and using of pacifier and honey or the other sweetener which is used by the child. And here the etiology in case of rampant caries is multifactorial, that is frequency of snack, sticky refined food, decreased saliva flow. So these all are the different reasons for this rampant caries: frequent snacks, sticky refined food, decreased salivary flow. Now let us see what is adolescent caries. So as the name is indicating, adolescent means it is going to be occur in adolescence. It is acute caries attack at 11 to 18 years of age. Lesion in teeth and the surfaces are relatively immune to caries. These lesions occur usually in the patient who are immune to caries. They have already experienced carious lesion while they have those of their primary dentition. So such person has high immune to caries. Small opening in enamel with extensive undermining. So opening of enamel will be small, but there will be large lesion formed into the tooth. Rapid clinical course, so it involves the pulp very rapidly. Little or no secondary dentine formation. So here the reactive dentine or the secondary dentine formation will usually not seen, and if it is seen, it will be of very small amount. So here you can see this is the clinical picture of adolescent caries. You can see this adult child has all the carious lesion of the anterior maxilla. Now you can see what is arrested caries. Arrested caries are the caries which is get arrested at some point of their progression. Arrested, as the name is indicating, it is get arrested, means it is not progressing any further. So it is usually seen in the large cavitated lesion. This cavity has formed because of the caries progression. Now is this cavity has become that much large that it becomes self-cleansable side. No more food get lodged into them. They get clean by their own. Means just drinking water get also clean them. So there will be no food lodgement, there will be no plaque formation, there will be no further decay of the tooth. So that's how it get arrested at this stage of the progression. So that's why we are calling it as arrested caries. So the arrested caries is that in which the caries becomes static or the stationary and does not show any tendency for progression. So there will be no progression furthermore. Almost exclusively occur on occlusal surface. Why? Because the occlusal surfaces of molars has the large surface area, so they get easily form the cavitated lesion and there will be no food lodgement, and because of that they get arrested. Both dentition can affect. Lesion appear as a large open cavity with lack of food retention. I have already told you that there will be no food lodgement anymore, so that's why it get arrested. Superficially softened and decalcified dentine gets burnished and has a brown stain polished appearance called as hibernation of the dentine. So because of that dentine which is get exposed into the oral cavity, they get brown stained and they are called hibernation of the dentine. So now you can see this is the large occlusal carious lesion which is get arrested because there is no more food lodgement and the lack of food retention over this lesion, so they become arrested. Now let us see xerostomia induced caries or the radiation caries. So because of the radiation therapy whatever happened to the patient, because of that there will be xerostomia of the mouth, means there is a reduced salivary secretion and which will lead to caries progression. So complication of radiotherapy of the oral cancer lesions. Radiation induced xerostomia produces the caries conducting environment. Carious lesion involvement has an early in 3 months after the onset of xerostomia. So the carious lesion started to occur into the mouth after the 3 months of xerostomia. May be caused by other factors like salivary gland tumor or autoimmune disorder and prolonged illness. Why? Because in salivary gland tumor also the secretion will going to reduce. Any kind of autoimmune diseases is also going to decrease the secretion of saliva. Prolonged illness can also lead to decrease of saliva, and there are certain kind of drugs is also there that also reduces to decrease in salivary secretion, and these all the condition leads to caries. So this is the radiation caries. So you can see these are the typical pictures of these different kind of radiation caries and which is induced by xerostomia in the mouth. What is senile caries? So senile caries are caries activity that spurts up during the old age. and they are located extensively on the root of the teeth because there is a gingival recession in old patient, so the root surface get exposed and all this caries lesion started to occur on the root surface. Also seen associated with partial denture clasp. The patient using partial denture clasp also has the tendency to undergo these senile caries, causes gingival recession, decreased salivary secretion and poor oral hygiene. Now let us see what is occult caries and the hidden caries. Not clinically diagnosed but detected on radiograph. So what happened here, the caries lesion is progressing into the tooth but it is not able to seen on the surface. Why? Because it is hidden. The caries lesion is progressing into the tooth but we cannot able to seen into the oral cavity. That's why we are calling it as a hidden caries, because it is hidden from the outside, and that's why we cannot able to see these caries into the oral cavity. And we will get to know about it when we do a routine radiographic examination for some other diseases. Seen in the person with low caries index and suggestive of increased fluoride exposure, because in that cases the fluoride exposure is very more, so the outer surface is not able to demineralize or something, but there is an internal caries is progressing. Also called as fluoride bombs or the fluoride syndrome. So because of the fluoride, outer surface is not going to demineralize, that's why we are not seeing any lesion into the oral cavity, but internally tooth is getting destructed. So that's why it is called as fluoride bomb and the fluoride syndrome. So here with this we come to end of this lecture. So these all are the different type of caries which is involved in the oral cavities. So this was the part 5 of dental caries. In next part I will going to talk about the different theories of dental caries, and there are different more things I am going to cover in this topic, because dental caries has a very vast chapter and having lots of things to understand. That's why I am making different parts, so it's not become very hard to watch and understand.